What is up, guys? How we doing? So I got an update on the Coenen brothers. They have done something that's really unique in their contract, but the contract's done. And yes, they will be in the United States, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. I've got an update on the Lucas Mirtl Lawrence lawsuit situation. The 16th was a big day. It's come and gone, and I'll tell you why. I got some injury updates on Chance Hymas and Mike Brown. Speaking of injuries, I'm telling you, if you have some arthritis, some aches and pains, try Nano-Extreme. It is the best pain solution I've ever used. Head over to Nano-Extreme, use code COOKSY and get free shipping. If you're competing out in the heat and you need a drink that will help keep you hydrated at a very high level, check out Complete Racing Solutions. They've got Energy Fuel. That's Coach Rob's drink. Head over there, get yourself some Energy Fuel, and stay hydrated. Ride Strapped, goggles, glasses, shirts, just a really cool company. Love these guys, and they got something new coming. I'll let you know when we hear from that. But check out Ride Strapped and get yourself a red pill shirt in the meantime.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So the GPs have been kind of buzzing. What are the Coenens doing? Do they have a contract to the United States? Are they going to stay in Europe? Are they going to Honda? It's all finally done. Okay, they're not going to Honda. The Coenens are staying with KTM, but they've signed a truly unique contract. This is an international contract. This isn't just like a GP contract or an American contract. They have got both series tied into their contracts. They are planning on coming over here for the first 5 Supercross rounds and then going back, racing the GPs. And then they're going to take a look at the schedule and they'll be able to hit some outdoor nationals as well and possibly SMX, depending on what the schedule looks like. But the Coenens are trying something different. They signed a truly international deal. I haven't seen anything like this before, but hey, go figure. Super agent Lucas Mirtl, he gets his clients what they want. And the 16th was a big day for the Lucas Mirtl Lawrence lawsuit, where they claimed that he did stuff that he didn't do. Well, they've delayed it again. And now it looks like, I think they're heading to mediation is what I heard. And I think this is when both sides get to see the other side's evidence. That's a tactic that the Wasserman, it's the Lawrences suing, not Wasserman. I'm sure they're advising the Lawrences at every step of the way, and they're trying to drain Lucas Mirtl. That feels like what they've been doing from the beginning, because the evidence that I've seen just doesn't hold up. So we're going to have to wait even longer. The Lawrence's lawsuit has been delayed. And I have to think, if it was airtight like they said it was, now let's just say hypothetically this case is airtight like the Lawrences say it is and how they've been depicting the information. Let's say they have information that I haven't seen. Why wouldn't they just go to court and if they have a winning case, why do they have to keep delaying it? That lets me know they obviously don't. Why would they ask for mediation if they have the smoking gun in Lucas Mirtl? It's because they don't. But this saga will continue. Hopefully it gets wrapped up here pretty quickly and Lucas can get onto his countersuit. Maybe they can just settle the defamation right then and there. Who knows? I think we're all tired of it. And then I'm going to hear a lot of you smart guys say, oh, well, you're the one that keeps talking about it. Because it's in the news. It's what's happening. It's the 2 biggest riders in the sport. The super agent, who's still very active in taking care of his clients. He did the super deal for the Coenens. So yeah, it's in the news. And until it's completely done, we're going to keep talking about it. So I want to bring something up that was alluded to in my last video. So MX Sports, when these privateers sign up to race, they don't know if they're going to race until like the week of, and then they get their emails and they probably are halfway across the country by the time they find out where they're actually going to be accepted into the event. And a lot of riders were pissed because they accepted Jordan Jarvis on short notice. I was made aware by Jordan Jarvis's dad that no, that is not actually what happened. She had been signed up for months, but they weren't going to race because of her catastrophic injury. Man, I don't know if you guys saw this, but this girl is tough. She got straight landed on it. It wasn't like a glancing blow, like somebody cased it off her body. I'll be honest with you, the fact that she's still walking, alive, and raced the next week, this girl is a beast. She is so tough and determined. But what happened was when she got hurt, I guess they said they weren't going to race or they weren't sure, so they didn't put her on the official registry, and that's why they had to write her name in. I don't know if I buy all that, but that's what Jordan Jarvis's dad told me. And he is very upset with people saying that his daughter's getting special treatment because of Pride Month. And I think it's disgusting that anyone would go after her for this. Jordan Jarvis and her family are not asking for any preferential treatment. Now, MX Sports, they might be using Jordan to sell their narrative, and yeah, it makes it a lot easier if you have someone who is in that community racing and is a legit badass racer who's qualified for nationals and deserves to be there. So yeah, it does make it a little bit easier for them to sell their narrative. And he just wanted to point out they have not asked for any special treatment and don't want any special treatment. I think that's pretty damn commendable, and I just want to tip my hat to Jordan Jarvis for just being a savage and tough and one hell of a rider, and her family for saying, hey, we don't want special treatment. We want to be treated like every other racer. And that's all I think everybody wants. So do not direct your hate towards Jordan Jarvis over this incident. She had nothing to do with it. All she's trying to do is go racing. It's MX Sports and their system that is the problem. It's MX Sports using her to sell their narrative. So please don't go after Jordan Jarvis. That is one tough girl that deserves to be out there. And like I told her dad, this whole thing could have been avoided if MX Sports just had an open, transparent waiting list for riders and where they're at and who's deserved to get in, or a better criteria. And he had mentioned this has been a problem since the 90s. Yeah. And these idiots still won't fix it.
It's a Chamber of Commerce day!
But when you have a broken system that has all these loopholes that allows them to have this leverage over different riders, say bad things, you're not getting in. It is not a black and white list. That is one of the things that MX Sports does to control people. And if you want to know who these idiots are, this is Tim Cotter.
It's a Chamber of Commerce day here at the Country Club of Motocross.
Josh Grant told a story about how this idiot is driving him around the track in Colorado, launches the mule off a jump, throws him out, and ruins his knee.
And Tim Cotter comes up to me. He's like, hey, why don't you come? I know you're here early. Come check out the track. We're going to ride this side-by-side around, and tell me what you think of it. If there needs to be any changes, I'm the only guy out, really out the track. Sure, let's go, Tim. Hop in the thing. And they didn't properly mark. They were supposed to mark the jumps when they were done cutting the downhill or cutting off their drop-offs. Well, they didn't properly mark it. And so him and I are in the...
Was this at Redbud?
No, that was it. This is at Thunder Valley.
They did it at Redbud again. Do you remember that? They drove the mule off.
Yeah. Okay, so at Thunder Valley, the weekend before that is when... So him and I coming down the hill, which is the fast hill where James crashed or whatever. We're coming down, no problem. It's not marked, so he doesn't think that it's done yet. And we go over and we nose pick the Rhino like this, and I fly out of the fucking side-by-side, and the thing lands on my leg and blows my other knee out.
No, it does not.
Yep. I'm hurt the day before the race because Tim flipped the damn side-by-side on top of us because they didn't properly mark the track. And as much as I don't want to say it, but Davey Coombs offered me a case of beer and a bottle of wine to cover the damages,
Well, that seems like a fair trade.
That is unreal, right? And then Davey Coombs offers him a case of beer and a bottle of wine for ruining his career, his one shot at his dream job on Team Honda, because your moron Tim Cotter launched him out of a mule or Rhino or whatever it was.
I don't know if it was the same year. I can't fathom that it would be back-to-back weekends. I watched them drive the mule off at
I swear
Redbud.
I think it was the same year. It was the day, like this weekend after they did the same thing again.
Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that at all.
Yeah.
And this is all from the Whiskey Throttle Show. If you want to hear the whole interview, Pingree did it over there. And I laughed when Pingree goes, wow, I never really heard about that. Yeah, because Racer X controls the narratives, and they didn't want it out there. Can you imagine if that was somebody else besides? Could you imagine if Feld had done that when they were feuding? That would have been everywhere. Mathis would have led his show with it, and instead it got brushed under the rug because it was Davey Coombs and MX Sports. And they just shut people up. And what do? If you talk about it, your entry fee doesn't go through. And they have these little ways to manipulate the sport. With that said, privateers, get your ass to the Big Hill Jam. This is Josh Hill's event in Oregon, and there is a big payday for you privateers. So he was breaking it down. He's going to come on the show hopefully this week or sometime to talk about a little bit about the Big Hill Jam, a little bit about his career. Josh Hill is just a fun guy to talk to, and I just love what he's doing, and I want to support it. So I asked him to come on the show and talk about it, so hopefully pretty soon I might be able to get Josh on. But in the meantime, it is a all-stroke national. You can run your e-bike, you can run your 4-stroke, you can run your 2-stroke. It is a run what you brung motocross race. They're estimating prize money to be about $40,000. The best whip should pay about $20,000. And privateers, if you want to get more exposure, I'm telling you, you will get more social media hits off the Big Hill Jam than you will trying to qualify for some national. And competition forces people like MX Sports to be better and treat the riders better. So if you want to be treated better and you want to have a proper say in your sport, when another event comes up, like the Big Hill Jam, support it. This is an event created by a rider for a rider. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to get out there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it out there, but I'm going to try and go cover it and just hang out with those guys just because it's a good time. So yeah, check out Big Hill Jam. And if you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. That is the best shipping company, family owned, reasonable pricing. Hit up pretransport.com and the Madden family will get you squared away. Alias MX, their 2026 stuff is dropping soon. Head over to the website, Alias MX, and check their stuff out. So I got a couple injury updates. Mike Brown, man, this is the ageless wonder who's been just winning championships everywhere for years and years and years. He's well into his 50s. Had a nasty crash. It was scary. There were initial reports that he might not have feeling. Apparently he does have feeling in all his extremities and he should make a full recovery. But man, this sport is brutal. Sending out my best. He's one of the toughest dudes ever. I'm just hoping he gets back to 100%. And yeah, this stuff's gnarly. This sport can go from having a good time to scary in an instant. And some of these promoters that make money off of people racing, they don't understand that, and that bothers me. And with Chance Hymas, we got an update. It's pretty much confirmed. He tore his ACL. It has not been confirmed with the MRI. These guys know what it is. You can feel it when it happens. The good news, the ACL that he tore twice, that was, I believe, his left or whatever knee it was, this is the opposite knee. That's good. That leaves a little bit more cartilage in there, and that gives a little bit more hope that he might be able to make a full recovery. And he does have one more year in his Honda contract, so that will help. He has, he can take the rest of this year off, heal up. And if he does ride really good next year and he can get through next season without another ACL, man, there's a chance somebody will give him a contract. That's the thing. If you can win races, especially in that 250 class, there's a lot of people that will take a risk on you. But it does suck and hurt his long-term chances as far as he's not going to get a 5-year deal. Nobody's ever going to give him a 3-year deal. He's not going to get a gigantic contract just because of the injury history. Anyway, thank you, members. I appreciate everything. You guys are entered to win an Energy Fuel pack for June, and then you're all entered to win the XQi3 motorcycle that I'm giving away in December. This is so much fun, man. You got to get out and ride these. I love just popping wheelies on it and goofing around. It is a blast. So check out New Power Sports, and thank you guys, and here's your member of the day.